This message is for those in the Somali community. I don't know if you got the memo. I don't know if it arrived yet. But in rushing to get this memo to you, this message, because we had the feeling that you had this expectation that you wanted us to fulfill. And we sent in this memo, we simply said, hell no. Now, in rushing this memo, getting you this message, we left something very important out. And I apologize. I'm sorry. You can blame me. But what we left out is you are starting to notice that Black Americans are no longer saying African Americans, or you're hearing it less. It's because we have done so much work here. We fought corruption here. We fought the Ku Klux Klan here. We fought the government here. We built the infrastructure. We fight the red line through real estate to keep us in the fucking ghetto. We did a lot of stuff. And the stuff that we did and the work that we put in, it makes no sense to say that we're from somewhere else. Especially when that somewhere else doesn't even want us. And to make it worse, when you're over here in our backyard, you don't even want us in your community. So that being said, we don't say African American, or I don't. Let me speak for myself. I don't say African American. I say Black Native American. And that's not to take away from the work that everybody else does with, like, my ancestors, not to disrespect anybody. But we're here today, and we had to fight to be here. And my people is not going to fight and die here to raise their children here to turn around and say that they're from somewhere else. No, that doesn't work, especially when you let us know that we're not welcome in your community. So, again, I apologize. That I also wanted to put that in the first memo, but again, we had to rush to get it out to you because you thought we were coming to your rescue. So you're on your own, but you'll be all right. You'll definitely be all right. I know the struggle is real, but it's nothing like what we had to go through.
A tiny piece of the population, some of the most vulnerable people in our country. But Trump based his order on a report whose author has made it clear that his goal is to denaturalize and deport as many Somali-Americans as possible. This is not about crime. It's not about safety. This is about purging people like me from this country. Minnesota has always been a welcoming place for people fleeing a home country that is blasted by war, poverty, and hunger. Europeans in the 19th and 20th century, Black Americans from the South, Hmong and Vietnamese, Liberians in East Africa.
So there is a conversation that is happening online right now, and it's really uncomfortable, but a lot of people feel like it needs to be said. You've probably seen the headlines, the reactions, and even viral clips. Some Black Americans are openly saying they are not standing in solidarity with Somali communities in certain situations, and they are reasoning this didn't start today. So what exactly are they talking about, and how did these get to this point? Let's break it all down step by step. Watch these clips and then I'll come back with more comments.
Look, after hearing what that man said about the Somalis in Minnesota, I just got to say, some of y'all needed to learn this lesson the hard way. Y'all didn't want to believe that Black Americans knew what we were talking about. You did not want to believe that. A lot of people have come to this country from different parts of the world, and the first thing they do in order to assimilate to American culture is adopt the mentality that Black Americans are just complaining and not trying to warn people who is in charge and how they feel about anybody that is not of a certain flavor. Y'all always say stuff like, I just gotta work hard enough, get the right education, I gotta behave a certain way. That is why these people are struggling. And as long as I don't act like them, I will not be in danger. And there's really no other way to explain it, That's how you feel. But you teach your kids to think that way, all right? And it literally takes for them to say what that man said in order for you to start understanding that we were trying to warn you this whole time. That man literally said they're garbage. He said they're garbage and we don't want them in this country. But you know what's crazy? You know what's really crazy? You heard that one man say on CNN, they'll still vote Republican. They'll still vote alongside these people. I can't explain it, but they will absolutely keep trying to appeal to their abusers. Because at the end of the day, the sickness that I really believe has been, bred here in America is that sickness of convenience. And for some reason, it is more convenient to do everything you can to appeal to these people that don't want you here than actually take a stand and vote alongside or speak alongside or stand hand in hand, arm in arm with the same individuals who they are oppressing. Because what you really want is your shot at the top. That's what a lot of people really want. They want their shot at the top. It doesn't really, solidarity, all that stuff, they're not interested. It's like, call me crazy, but the longer Trump 2.0 goes on, I'm starting to think that the only group that did not vote with inherent selfishness and inherent cruelty was Black Americans. I would like to live in a different country now. Honestly, I'm kind of sick of this fever dream that we call America.
Well, Somalians have been under attack since Donny T said what he said about them, calling them garbage and that they need to go back to Somalia. Somalia is a crappy country and all this sort of trash that he was saying. And, some people have been DMing me this stuff and saying that, because I'm an Africa-centric platform, I should be talking about this and defending Somalia and so on and so forth. Do you realize how many videos I have seen online of Somalians saying that A, they are not black, and 2, they are not Africans? Like they have more they're part of the Arab world, or I don't even know what these guys have been talking about. The number of videos, there are so many of these videos on the internet and on social media that all you need to do is type in Somali not black, and you just get a whole, because it's that common that you see these videos. When it comes to pan-Africanism, these guys are never really engaging in these conversations. So when I heard that there was a Somalis for Trump movement, I wasn't even surprised.
One of the biggest points being made in this conversation is tensions didn't just appear out of nowhere. According to many voices online, this goes back through social media interactions, cultural misunderstandings, and repeated disagreements about identity, respect, and solidarity. Some Black Americans online feel like there have been moments where support wasn't mutual, where unity was discussed but not consistently practiced, and then certain attitudes created distance instead of connection. So at the same time, others argue that these experiences are not universal and shouldn't be used to define an entire community. But regardless of where people stand, one thing is clear. This conversation has been building for a while. A major part of these tensions centers around identity, specifically how people define themselves and how that is interpreted by others. Some individuals from East African backgrounds emphasize nationality first, culture first, and ethnicity identity over racial labels, while some Black Americans interpret that distancing or a lack of shared identity. So these differences rent to friction online because of one side it's about this is who we are, and for the other side it can feel like why separate when we face similar struggles. That disconnect alone has fueled countless of debates. Another major factor is the impact of viral content. Over time, certain clips have circulated online that intensifying emotions. Some of these clips include controversial or offensive remarks, and once they spread, they are starting to shape the perception. So, for many viewers, these clips become proof of large issue, even if they come from a small number of individuals. And this is where things escalate because people don't just react to experiences, they react to what they see repeatedly online.
Why did I see a tweet today talking about the fact that Trump is targeting Somali people in Minnesota is going to put Black Americans at risk? I don't think so. I think that Black Americans and Somali people don't look anything alike, first of all. Second of all, they don't even consider themselves black.
We are Somalis, not black. There, I said it.
Somalis are not black. Let me explain why. Looking at me right now, chat, am I black? I'm literally brown. I'm literally brown, bro. Think about it as well. Somalis are Arabs. We're in the Arab leagues. We speak the Arab language. We eat the Arab food. Bro, think about it like this, bro. If a whole community doesn't regard themselves as black, we can't be black, bro.
Somalis are not black. Now, before you disagree with me, I just want to say, listen, right? There's no such thing as the term black. The term black only came about in colonization. I don't have to accept that, sahib. That's why the other day when I was in a place, someone said to me, are you black? I said, I'm not black, sahib. I don't accept that term.
Somalis are not black. There's a difference between African and black.
You think that a person, any person, can't tell the difference between a Black American and a Somali person? I don't think so. I think that you can tell the difference between a Somali person and a Black American person. Like, I really do. And I'm just saying.
This is why Black Americans don't like you so much, because y'all have something that Black America have given up. Black America have given their culture away. They didn't sell it. They gave their culture away. Somalians, you have your culture. Your culture is very strong. It's strong. It has a lot of strength, a lot of impact. The way the men are in your community, on how your men are your guardians. You don't have Somalian men on podcasts degrading Somalian women. You have the Somalian father in the Somalian household, as he should be. He's not abandoning his family, denying his children. You don't have Somalian men leaving the mother to be a baby mother. You don't have the baby daddy affect baby mama. Also as well, y'all have unity in the Somali community. Y'all have community. You have unity. You are together. You're not on panels such as Fox News and other panels degrading your people, talking against your people, degrading your people, turning on your people. You're not allowing the West to colonize and conquer your brain. You are Somali. That is who you are. That's why Black Americans have no more cohesiveness. Their cohesiveness is broken. That's why it's broken. Somalis have what? Strip malls, businesses. You support each other. Black America do not do that. They will support everyone but themselves. They have a spending power of $2 trillion, but yet and still the black dollar don't even stay in the black community, not even half a day. and that's 12 hours. It's gone less than 6 hours. Your money generates and cycle and bounce in the Somali community within the Somalian tribe. You get what I'm saying? And as I said before, you don't have traitors who turn against you. And when you do start to have those traitors, as they like to call raccoons, you ostracize them immediately. You call out the traitors immediately. You ostracize them immediately. Don't do what they did. That's why. Your achievements, your accomplishments, what you have done in such little time. Yes, Black Americans fought for civil rights for us all. However, look at where they're at in the current state today. That's why. Stay strong. And another thing is this. You see, white people, they have broken Black America cohesiveness and a unity. White people have broken the Latinos cohesiveness and their unity. But even though the Latinos still have it, but you still have those who go and pander. The same way with the Indians and the same way with some Asians. You keep your culture strong. You keep your cohesiveness strong. Don't let nothing come between your culture. Keep your culture strong. Remember, you are Somalian here. Teach it to your children. Never ever let the West, never ever, ever change that.
At the center of all of this is something deeper: trust. Some voices in these discussions feel like respect hasn't always gone both ways, solidarity hasn't felt conditional, and certain past interactions are now influencing present decisions. So, when calls for unity come up, the response for some people is, where was that energy before? But on the other side, there are people saying holding on to past moments prevent progress, and unity shouldn't depend on perfect history. So you end up with two conversations or even perspectives. One saying we remember, and the other saying let's move forward. This leads to one of the most talked about reactions online: not our fight. Some individuals are choosing not to engage at all. Their stance is simple: they don't feel connected to this situation, they don't feel responsible, and they don't feel obligated to step in. That perspective is being interpreted in different ways. Number one, some see it as setting boundaries, others see it as division. But either way, it's a reflection of how people are processing everything that came before. Now, here is something that can't be ignored. Social media doesn't just reflect conflict, it amplifies it. So what gets pushed to the top, not to nuance, not balance, but conflict, which means what you're seeing might not be the full picture, but the loudest version of it. So at the end of the day, this situation isn't as simple as one side right, one side wrong. It's layered, it's emotional, and it is shaped by personal experiences, online narratives, and moments that went viral. But the most important thing is to remember this. No single voice speaks for millions of people, so the real question is, are we understanding the concept or just reacting to pieces of it? I would love to hear from you guys on the comment section, and kindly remember to keep it respectful. And if you've come across these discussions online, kindly share your thoughts and keep it respectful, because this conversation can either divide people further or help people actually understand each other. Thank you so much for watching up to this point. Kindly join our family by hitting the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.